What's up, everyone? Grayson the Dean 221 Nichols here, as always, on the Elite Rounders YouTube channel, and we are back with episode 2 of Blitz Week on Poker After Dark. We get another glimpse into Dan Bilzerian's home game. You got Steve Aoki, Dan, Eubanks, professional fighter. Interesting crowd, fun lineup. They're all just playing really loose, crazy. A lot of weird plays. Save this one hand I wanted to talk about with you guys. But before that, I wanted to talk about a little giveaway we're doing here at Elite Rounders. If you subscribe on our YouTube channel, go ahead and follow us at Elite Rounders on Instagram, and then post in the comments of this video your Instagram name. We will enter you in a raffle for a free month of poker coaching. So again, subscribe here on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and post your Instagram name in the comments, and we'll put you in the raffle. The raffle drawing will be on April 30th. So I hope you guys sign up for that, and I look forward to seeing you in our group lessons. But back to the action at hand. Again, this has been kind of a weird game. They're doing crazy stuff. Like, people are just like playing, there are no two cards that are off limits. And there's also one little tip for you all that I want to mention before we talk about this hand. This would be really helpful and important for you guys. Anytime you are playing live and you get to showdown, you got to flip your cards over. There has been 2 times already in these 2 episodes where the guy mucks the winner because he thought he didn't have the goods. In this episode, it was Mr. Eubanks here who hit a flush on the river, thought he was bluffing when he bet. He got called and he just mucked his hand and said, "Nice hand." And the $3,000 went to Steve Aoki. So again, this happened last episode. Just a helpful tip for you guys. It's not going to cost you anything to do this. Just flip your cards up, let the dealer take a look at it, and let the dealer make the mistake, right? Don't mistakenly just muck your cards and think that you lost. You're just giving away money when you do that. So I really recommend in these spots that you flip up your cards and, don't risk mucking the winner. It's just an inexcusable mistake. So on to the hand today. Again, Dan played pretty well. I wanted to kind of come in here guns blazing, criticize the guy because he's such a polarizing figure in the poker world, claiming he made his fortune from poker when it seems that all indicators seem to say otherwise, that he inherited a lot of the money. But that's neither here nor there because he's playing a hell of a game of poker. He's playing well in this game. He's kind of running this table, and he's clearly the best player at the table. The action he's getting, he's getting action from the most is Bill Perkins, well-known billionaire, and they square off in this hand where Bill opens the action with Queen 10 of Hearts to 400, and Dan goes ahead and calls with pocket fours, and Bill's fiance, Laura, calls in the big blind with the King of Hearts, and we don't know what the other one was. So I'm really curious what this card was. After seeing her ponder the action on the flop, I think it might have been maybe a jack or a queen. Certainly not the Queen of Hearts because Bill's holding that. So flop comes out Jack 10-4, 2 hearts, just a monster, cooler flop of sorts. There's no way these two aren't getting it in. And in really quick succession, Bill fires out 700, and Dan has the option of calling or raising here. I think when you're on boards like this that are very wet and dynamic, it's important to not slow play your monsters like a set. So I think you need to go ahead and raise here somewhere around 2,500. Makes a lot of sense. You need to protect yourself, charge draws. Also, another thing you got to think about in these spots when you have a big hand and you're thinking about raising, think to yourself, how am I perceived? But also, what do I believe my opponent has? What will they continue with, right? And on this sort of a board, when Dan's sitting there with a set of fours, there's a ton of stuff that Bill will continue with, from any jack to ace 10, king 10, queen 10, to any heart combos, to king queen, ace king, ace queen for straight draws, tons of stuff. So if you're in a spot where you have a big hand, like a set, and there's a lot that your opponent can continue with, just start putting the money in. Just start raising, get the money in there, and start, realizing your value, right? Realizing your equity. So Dan does this, exactly another good play from him, and he raises it up to 2,400. And Laura contemplates what to do in this spot for a little bit, and she folds. Like I said, I'm leaning that she has a king jack here or king queen. I think those would be the two difficult spots where I wouldn't be exactly sure what to do, especially against an aggressive player like Dan. And she decides to fold. And so the action is back to Perkins, who immediately re-raises to 10,000. I'm okay with Perkins' play here. I think Dan has a lot of semi-bluffs in this spot, but then there could be an argument for possibly calling and keeping him in with some of his worse hands. But I also don't mind just putting more money in. And, if Dan had something like Ace Jack, King Jack, perhaps Bill's going to be able to blow him off of his hand on the turn, right? They're both really deep stacked too, about 400 big blinds deep each. So there's a couple ways that Bill could play this, but I don't mind the re-raise to 10,000. And I think once Bill makes it 10,000, it's just a no-brainer. Dan moves all in at that point with a set of fours like he's got it, and Bill snaps him off, just snaps him off. I'm sure Dan at first was like, oh, wow, this might be a set of jacks or tens, but fortunately for him, he's almost a 2-1 favorite with his set against Bill's monster draw here. And in one of the weirder things, when they get it all in here for about an 800 big blind pot, Dan just stands up and walks away. As you can see, he's over here just, in his nice short shorts, showing off his legs, apparently. He just heads to the bathroom, I guess. I don't know where he goes, right? But he had no interest in watching this 800 big blind pot run out. They decided to run it twice. Perkins sits back. The rest of the table sweats it. And of course, Bill Perkins, Mr. just running good at life, beautiful wife, billionaire, just having fun, spikes that queen of hearts to chop the pot at the end. And Dan comes back after his bathroom break to find out that they just chopped after all that. So, kind of a fun spot, really just a funny table. I don't know what all these people are up to in certain spots, but it's fun to watch them. And I also encourage you guys to watch, different groups of people. I think we all end up watching just, a lot of high stakes players on high stakes players. It's good to watch how amateurs play in spots, right? I think it's important to kind of try to figure out what they're doing, get to their tendencies. It'll help you be a better player in general. Right. I don't recommend the walking away, although part of me wonders like, hey, maybe that's not bad. We don't really need to watch the sweat and go through the stress sometimes. Right. So that's a pretty alpha move there, I suppose. But again, I think it's cool to watch, see what some of these players do. I noticed they limp a ton. I think that's something very indicative of amateur players. Any two cards seem reasonable to them because a lot of amateurs think, hey, you can make value with any two cards, right? I warn you, that's not the best method. I think that could be really dangerous, and after a while, you bleed chips doing that, right? So you do need to be selective. But again, I think it's good to watch and see what all types of players do and what their tendencies are, because the more you learn that stuff, the better you're going to get at playing at a wide array of opponents yourself, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this hand. Don't forget about the raffle. Again, subscribe here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Elite Rounders and post your Instagram name in the comments, and we will enter you into the raffle for a free month of poker coaching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back next week with the third episode of the Blitz home game. But before that, check us out on Thursday morning where we should be covering the Duel Part 2, where we get a rematch between Negreanu and Hellmuth, I believe. I got to check the schedule. I'm not 100% positive, but I do think it's tomorrow night. So definitely check that out. That one's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It never gets old watching Mr. Hellmuth and Negreanu battle it out and just chat with each other. So check us out every Tuesday and Thursday morning on the Elite Rounders YouTube channel. Subscribe so you see all of our free content pop up for you right when we put it out. And best of luck on the felt this week, everyone. See y'all later.